Hi and welcome, I'm John and this is Unique Wargaming. Guys, welcome back. For everyone that's new, this is a Let's Build video. What are Let's Build videos? What they're all about? Well, Let's Build video, I take a model kit and I show you guys how to put it together. If there's any areas of concern on the sprue, as in things are numbered differently on the sprue as they are to instruction, I'll give you guys a heads up. If there's anything different in terms of say for example points of concern, like something like this where you have to snip it off very carefully, clean it down carefully, it could be chains or pipes or anything like that, I'll give you guys a heads up. If there's any parts of the model piece that has a little bit of sprue there that looks like it shouldn't be there but it should, it's like a pin to go into a hole, I'll give you guys a heads up. If you suffer with dyslexia or struggle with instructions in general, again, this is a visual aid to help you. So for all my regulars, I feel love, thank you very much. I'll see you in a minute. Right, so you would have seen from the thumbnail, I'm building a Tyranid winged Hive Tyrant. This is from the Combat Patrol box. Now, a lot of you will have this kit and be like, oh yeah, I want to build it. I looked in the instructions from the premium kit that came, and it only has the instructions to build a Hive Tyrant, not a winged one. Luckily, I still have the instructions from the old Combat Patrol for the Tyranids, which has the information for the winged one. So that's where I'm getting that from. So this kit is from the Combat Patrol premium box, but the instructions I'm using are from the old Combat Patrol box itself. Okay, now hopefully it's the same numbers. If there is any numbers differently, I'll point it out to you, but I'll be showing you the piece that you need anyway, so hopefully the visual aid will help you. So before we get into it, tools needed as always: mold line scraper. Now you can use a hobby knife or some sort of surgical blade. If you're using a sharp tool, just be careful because it's sharp. Let everyone in the house know you're using it so nobody scares you by accident. You don't have cats jumping up on you or little hands wandering around. Clippers, most useful part of our kit. Now I have sanding sponge. This is sponge with sandpaper either side. You have sanding sponge and sanding block. Sponge is used for models. I use it for models. Block is used for like tanks and stuff like that. The sponge is very flexible, whereas the block is more rigid. You can get it in the hardware shop somewhere between the wallpaper and the sandpaper, somewhere in between. Sometimes it's with the sandpaper, sometimes it's just it's a little section. Now, for everyone that's new, what we do before we start snipping and clipping and cleaning is we have a look at the sprue and ascertain what's what, okay, to make our job a lot easier. Now, you see on this sprue, this is 2 sprues. A lot of this we don't need. So this first sprue, there's heads, there's body, there's like nice little legs with talons. Sorry, a nice little leg with a big talon hanging off of it. Just up so you can see it. Got wings, which is actually amazing. We've got the tail. There's another part of body. I think most of this sprue is actually the winged Hive Tyrant. And then you got this other sprue here, which has lots of different weapon options. Okay, I think that's actually the tail, another tail for it. There's bone swords, there's legs, there's venom cannons, and whatever these are, bulb stranglers. I don't know fully. I know these are siphoning talons. There's another body part there. You have all these chest pieces and these body pieces here. More of these pieces, I can't remember what they're called now, but more of those. The different heads. There are various different bits and pieces. So I almost forgot one of the important things. Here's a plastic kit, so plastic glue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish getting set up and then come at you with the first pieces. Right, so the first piece we need is number 10. I'm going to snip him, clean him down, and I'll come back to you for the next pieces because they're on the other sprue. Right, so the next pieces we need are 21 and 22. These are on the same sprue as the wings. Okay, so one's this side. Okay, the other one is this side. you know, they're very similar looking. I'm going to snip them off, clean them down. I'll show you how they all go together. Right, so these two bits are very simple. I've put glue on there already. There's a pin and a hole. So there's two pins. Sorry, two pins, and there's two holes. They just slot into each other, like so. Okay. Now, what you're going to have to do, look along the join line here. There is like a little, so on the back calapace, there is a little join line. So I'm not squeezing glue out. I'm just rubbing the end of the stick onto it, just to hold that closer together. Now this piece, this lovely piece, sits in there just like that. Okay, so I'm going to glue that into place and then come back to our next piece. Right, so the next piece we need is number 23, which is this big massive towel with the spikes on it, and 24, which is this piece down here. These are both still on the wing sprue. Okay, these sprues are massive to try and hold on camera properly. But anyway, this one is next to this head with a horn on it, and this one is opposite the wing. Okay, 23 and 24. Right, so it's very, very straightforward. This, I've put glue in there already, but this piece, this is number 24. It just slots in straight into there, like so. Okay, very, very easy. Then this piece now glues onto here. Okay, sorry, I went off camera there. You got that little bit of a spike there, the little gap on this piece, just slots in, like so. Okay, so I'm going to glue that into place. Obviously, when I glue it in, I'm going to run just the end of the glue along that join line to make sure there's no join line. But I'll tell you what I'm actually going to do first. Is clear that bit of sprue off. That shouldn't be there. That's what's restricting it from sitting nicely. Right, so we're back to the first sprue now. We need is number 3 and number 7. They are right next to each other. They've got these lovely little teeth things next to them. They also have these things either side. Okay, number 3, number 7 is what we need, which is these two. They look very identical. So I'm going to snip those, clean those, and show you how they go together. Right, so we take the two pieces. It's very, very straightforward. I've put glue on that already because I know how it goes. There's one diamond pin there. There's a diamond pin there. You can see there's two diamond holes. They just slot into each other. Okay. So you want to make sure that it's dry fit first, just to make sure that it goes in. Again, so there's a horrible join line along this. Yeah, so I'm just going to rub the end of the glue stick, or the plastic glue, along there, out there as well. Just make sure that I've got this bit. Now, when you're sanding these type of flat pieces like this, okay, mold line scraper, you know, and then sanding sponge, because it's a flat edge, sometimes a bit of sprue will just like sort of like a thin layer along the straight line. Just be careful of that. When you put it together, if there's any issues, you'll see it just flapping over the top. The plastic glue, doing what I've just done, will get rid of that. So there we have that piece in. So the next piece needed, this is number 9. Where are you now? You're only a tiny little piece. Let me just find this piece. You'll be forgiven if, like me, you're looking at ages for it. They're the two pieces that we've taken just here, just now. This piece and this piece. There's number 9, sitting right there. So I'm going to snip it, clean it, I'll show you how it goes on. Right, so with this piece, be very, very careful. Okay, because it's very fiddly. It literally just sits on top here. Okay, like so. Now, dry fit it first, but again, be very, very careful because it is very fiddly and it will come, you know, so easy to drop it. So the next one we need is number 1, which is this one here. and number 2, which is one of these 2 bad boys. This one. Okay, so number 1 and number 2. Number for that is just in there. It's very difficult to see. Right, so again, this is very, very simple. I've already put glue in, as you can see. That just slots in there like so. Give it a little squeeze together. Again, just get rid of those mold lines, not mold lines, sorry, the join lines. Now the next piece we need is on the same sprue, is number 4, which is this little pins here. I'm going to snip it off very carefully because there's 3 spikes connected together. The bit we need to take, we need to cut it here. Yeah, just here. Okay, so we end up with those 3 spikes together. Now when I show you this, the next bits we need is this one, which is number 5, and number 6, which goes on the same way as I've just shown you, and then this one, which is going to go on the same way once I show you this one. Yeah, okay, so you just repeat that same thing with those 3 pieces, and then I'll come together and show you how the two of them and this go together. No. So there is 3 little holes there. I put glue into it already. These just slot into there, like so. Okay, very, very easy, very straightforward. So you repeat the same thing again with the other 3 pieces to get exactly the same thing, but it's going to be for the opposite side. And so the next part's very, very straightforward. Okay, I put glue on there, it just slides into there, like so. Okay, again there's a little join line there, but you can get away with that one because it just looks like calapace. But I'm actually going to just and the other piece is the same thing but on the other side. Okay, so you end up with a lovely little top half of the body. Right, so the next thing it's telling us to do is to glue the legs and the feet, the feet which have claws on them to glue onto them, then glue the legs into the body and the body to the base, or the bottom half of the body. I think that's a silly idea, because the only way this is sitting is on that flat piece there. So I think the best thing to do is to glue the body to the base now, because then we can prop it. By the time we come to do the rest of it, it's going to be it'll be able to take the weight of it. Let's just run a bit of plastic along the edge of that where it sits on the base. What we're going to have to do get this right. Maybe we should move back a little bit actually, sorry. Try and centralise that a little bit. Just because with the wings and everything hanging out the front, I want to make sure that the wings hanging out and the claws and the weapon hanging out, we don't want it too far forward because then it'll make the model tip. Or you'd have to then put something at the back of the base to counterbalance it. So the next thing we need are these lovely claws, these lovely feet. So let's start with, what's the first one? Actually, it's not giving me a number for the legs. Oh, sorry, no, it is 28. 28 is the first one, which is this one. Okay, this is on the same sprue as the wings. Now, and they're panicking, but common sense. Okay, there's the leg, there's the connection. Okay, so the other leg has has the same connection, but obviously you can see it goes one side and the other one goes the other side. But one of them is labelled, numbered, which is 28 on the instructions I'm talking about. So this is the piece we need. I'm going to take this first and come back with the two little claws, because this is one of the claws. That's not for this leg, but for the other leg, but that's the size we're dealing with. So I'll take this first. Right, so the first little claw we need is number 30. Okay, number 30 goes on this side. Goes on this side of the foot. So I'm going to snip it, clean it, and I'll show you how it goes on. And then I'll do that one first, and the other one goes in the same. I'll just have to point out where it is on the screw. Right, so this is the fun of it now. This is very fiddly. So we take that piece, and it just slots in there. Okay, now we have to just jiggle that around a bit because that's not in properly. Okay, so we take our roll line scraper, just give it a little play about. Now it's in properly. Now there's one thing I love about plastic glue. I put the plastic glue in there. I've got time to mess around and time to try and sort it out, and then if it's doesn't look right, I can then come in with the mold line scraper and just adjust it a little bit. Okay. So the next piece that we need is number 29, which is here. Okay. It goes in exactly the same as this first piece, but it goes on the other side. So the next thing we do, we need this leg, and we need number 27, which is here next to the wing. It's next to this gun part as well. Okay, 27, and 27 goes on this side. Okay, so it'll go on that side of the foot, and then the other one is 26, which is here. Okay, so there's 27, and 26 is this side, and 26 will go on that side of the foot. So exactly the same as what I've just shown you. So I'm going to snip and clean those and glue those three bits together. Right, so now we have the 2 feet done, and we have the bottom half of the body stuck to the base. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this for 20 minutes, maybe half an hour, because I want the plastic glue to set properly, because now all of these pieces have to go onto this body. I don't want to put them on and the body starts coming off the base and all that, so that's why I did the body onto the base first of all, to give it a good head start of drying whilst I'm doing these pieces. So again, another half hour or so of that drying, that'll be perfectly done. It'll just be one piece of plastic. It'll be able to hold the weight of them, and then I'll show you how they go on anyway, and then we'll be on to the weapon arms and stuff. Right, so it's very, very straightforward. This leg, you can see there's a square hole and there's a square pin. It just slots in there like so. This one has the same thing. It's got a slot, a square hole, square pin. That just slots. Does slot in there. Where are we? There we are. Slots in there like so. No, it goes in that way, sorry, backwards. Okay, and then the body, that just slots on top. So I'm going to glue those 3 pieces onto the base, and then I'm going to come back to you for the next piece. Right, so it's now onto weapon options. So we have you have the choice of this one here, which is on the same screw as the wings, which is 38 and 39. Now 39 will just slot in there, okay. And to go with that one, we have 40, which is this lovely piece. Now this end of it slots into that part of the gun. Okay, we also have number 41, which is, where are we? This lovely big bone sword here. Yeah. And with 41, you can have number 43, which is this lash whip. Or you can have a pair of siphoning talons. Now with the bone sword, number 41, number 42, which is, where are we? It's a tiny little piece. It looks like this. A tiny little piece, if I can find it. There it is. 42. That goes onto that little piece there. Okay. Or you can have number 36, which is, I think is a venom cannon. And number 37, which, where did I see you? This piece here. Again, this piece of it just slots into that part of the gun. That's the one I'm going to go for. Where are we? 36 and 37. Okay. So I'm going to snip them, clean them, and I'm going to show you how they go into the model and go into each other. Right, so there's two holes there, two grooves. We glue in the bottom one, and this goes in like so, okay. And the other one goes in the bottom slot, the other side, but this end of it is going to slot into the gun there. So it's a bit of a fiddly thing to do, so I'm going to glue those together off camera and come back and show you. But it's, you know, once you start putting one in, you'll figure out how the other one goes on. Right, the next thing is number, hold on a minute, that's telling me 42, and that's saying 59. Okay, so look at the other sprue. I don't think there's another brain piece on there. No. Okay, so that's a mistake. I think I might have pointed out on the last time I built one of these guys. So this is saying 59, which is the brain piece. I think this is like a synapsis node, I think it's meant to be. But the instructions are telling me 42. Okay. But this is optional. You don't have to put this piece on. But this little bit at the end slots in the front here. Okay. You can see there is a little pin there, little hole, and it just slots into there. Again, that's optional. You don't need to put that on there. I'm not going to bother. But next thing it's telling me to do is put the wings in. As you can see, I'm not going to put the wings on yet. I'm going to have to put that back on and then come back to you for how to put the head together. Right, so as I said, the instructions say you put wings in first. We're not going to do that. We're going to leave that to set a little bit more. So we're going to put the head together. Now the head is for the wing type Tyrant. It's number 31, which is this one. This is on the normal sprue, not on the wings. Number 32 and number 33. Okay, 32, 33 and 31. So I'm going to snip and clean them. Now you can take these two pieces off because they only go together one way, and this bit at the bottom is the bottom of the head, the chin. So I'm going to snip those three pieces off, show you how they all go together. Right, so the head, you take the piece with the little chin bit first of all, and that just slots in there like so. Okay, and then you take your plastic glue, run a little bit there, a little bit in there. Take the other head, and that just slots in again, plastic glue on my fingers. This does help. It just slots in like so. Again, there is a horrible little join line at the top and the bottom. The top one's not too bad, but the one at the bottom is a pain in the backside. So it's going to get a plastic glue, just drop a little bit. As you guessed it, this glues straight into there. Okay, so I'm going to glue that into place. This arm keeps coming out. I'm going to glue that into place, and then we'll come back for the wings. So we have 2 wings. Okay, it is very, very straightforward how they go on. That's the connection point there. So one wing is going to be one side, one's going to be the other side. But just to let you know, so there's no confusion, number 35, which is this one, okay, slots on this side of the model, and number 34 slots on that side of the model. Now, where you put the gun arm in, there's 2 slots above, 2 little circular bits above it. That's where they slot into. So I'm going to snip these off, clean these down, and I'm going to glue them into place. These are probably going to have to be held for a little while, just because it's a big piece of plastic and it's going to try and pull itself off all the time. Right, I was going to give this model a difficult rating of a 3, but these wings are an absolute fucking nightmare to be on. They're too heavy for the plastic glue to hold them straight away, so I had to come in with some super glue, which is very rare when I'm doing a plastic kit, but it's actually just balancing in. So my difficulty rating for this guy, I would have said a 3, because there's a few horrible mold lines here and there, and I still probably have to go over it again before I undercoat it, which I will do anyway, just to make sure there's no mold lines along this here. But when it's a plastic kit and it's all glued together, it's all the plastic glue is cured, it's a lot easier to clean any mold lines that you've missed, because it's one piece of plastic. But these wings are absolute nightmare to get in. Now I dare not stand him, because if I stand him, the weight of this one, is it's super glued in the moment, it's probably going to fall off. But my finger's stuck to the back of it, of course it is. Oh, come on. But that is a beautiful model. Now I think I've positioned the wings slightly off where they should be, but I think that looks much more menacing, and oh yeah. I would suggest, if you're building the wing type Tyrant, when you finish building the top half of the body, build the head and glue the head into place, and then glue the wings in, super glue them straight into where they're meant to go, and before you glue the body to the bottom half of the tail. Yeah, so glue the top half of the body, including the wings and the head, and glue the tail to the base, and then glue the legs into the into the tail, and then glue the arms, glue the top half of the body onto the tail, and then leave that for half an hour. So when it's dry, then glue the arms on, weapon arms on. But that is absolutely savage. Would I build another one? Probably build another one. Just as I said, just do the body, top half of the body first, head and wings, and then the bottom half, glue that to the base, and then do legs in, weapons and all that. So my difficulty rating for this, doing it the way that I've done it, I'd probably give it a 4.5, maybe a 5, just because those wings are an absolute nightmare, and it's the first time doing a plastic kit that I've had to go to a super glue to hold. Well, not the first time, sorry. There's a few other times where it's been demonettes, and there was something else as well to go straight to the super glue because it wouldn't hold it. But apart from that, it's a very easy kit. Well, it's not very easy. It's an easy-ish kit. For those of you that are new, the difficulty rating I give it is how hard I think it is to build. The Silent King being a 10, Scarab Swarms, Nurglings being a 1. Okay, most Space Marines are a 3, so that gives you an idea of how, just because of those bloody wings, they're so frustrating. Glue them in, and all of a sudden you let go, yeah, they're fine, and then they start falling off. Anyway, guys, massive thank you for watching. Hopefully this video hits you guys before you get your premium kit for the Combat Patrol box and you decide to build this guy. If you don't want to build the Winged Hive Tyrant, the instructions only tell you how to build the normal Hive Tyrant. I've got a Let's Build for that on the channel as well anyway. I've also got the Let's Build on the channel for this interesting monster, which is the Swarm Lord, which is the epic hero. Now all three of them, the Winged Hive Tyrant, normal Hive Tyrant and the Swarm Lord, the epic hero, can all be built from the same kit. Okay, the Let's Build for him, Swarm Lord, and the Hive Tyrant on the channel already. Now this guy is as well. So hopefully, you know, by me building this, I've given you some pointers and some heads up and things for you to be aware of. So anyway guys, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button because it costs you absolutely nothing. Turn your notifications on so you don't miss anything. Everyone smash the thumbs up button so it triggers YouTube to this video of more and more people, which makes this incredible, amazing community of you guys grow even more. If you have any comments or anything about this model, chuck them below as always, guys. If you want to support the channel even further, there is a there's a join button below. You click on that and it'll take you to a membership page where you can purchase a membership and become a member with various different perks. Like I said, any comments about this guy, chuck in below. Guys, until next time, thanks for watching. Take it easy.